What's going on, guys? You're probably like, hold up, is that a studio behind you? I thought this was supposed to be something about e-commerce. Well, it is my studio, but it's also my e-commerce command center. And I am going to talk to you about e-commerce and specifically tell you how you can increase your existing sales by at least 30% and collect data about your customers and their shopping behaviors that you have not been able to do thus far. You can get your hands on this data from a traditional e-commerce site that lives on a browser, whether it's on a desktop computer or an optimized mobile version on a smartphone. And if you're just starting out with e-commerce, that's okay too, because you're going to be able to start out with this incredible capability out the gate. So the capability that I'm talking about is upgrading your e-commerce operations by launching a dedicated smartphone app for your store that is both native to the iPhone and Android devices. So if you're wondering how this is going to increase your sales and give you access to data about your customers that you haven't had before, think about this for a second. Why do huge online stores like Amazon, eBay, or Newegg have their own app for their online e-commerce store? Or even physical stores like Walmart, Home Depot, or even Whole Foods now, why do they have their own app? I'm sure their mobile optimized store looks and works just fine on their smartphone, doesn't it? Well, the look and feel is one thing, but the fact that now you have a dedicated app for the e-commerce store itself opens up a whole new world of user behavior data. Again, many of these new things you can now do through the app are just not possible through a traditional browser. There's no need for me to go into the industry data and research to prove to you that the mobile shopping market and its demand is absolutely exploding. If you have any type of experience, you know that this is a fact and this trend is not reversing, trust me. Nowadays, people pretty much do everything from their smartphones. So let me tell you about specific benefits of having your own custom dedicated app for your existing or new e-commerce store. I'm sure everyone has heard of push notifications. You probably have these enabled right now on your favorite apps like I do. Whenever you get a new friend request through Facebook, get a new message from Facebook Messenger, whenever your calendar event is about 15 minutes away from starting, or even when the weather changes drastically, and the list goes on and on and on. Bottom line is you get notified when you want to be and when it truly matters, when you need it. Well, imagine having that capability with your e-commerce store and with your customer's relationship. Now you can alert them with a special sale on an item you know they've been looking at over and over on your app, but for some reason still didn't put it into the shopping cart. And more importantly, your customers get this notification when they turn on their phone and get on your store's app, as opposed to when they're sleeping or some other time that doesn't make sense at all, or when it doesn't matter. One push notification strategy that I specifically love is sending my customers coupons. In my opinion, offering store-wide discounts like 20% off just gets a little stale over time, but sending a coupon for a particular product you know the customer has been looking at can be a game changer. It's almost like integrating the capability of Groupon in your e-commerce system, and that's just incredibly powerful to me. Look, today the science of marketing goes deep into users' psychology and behavior, so things like this really matter if you want to win your customers over and make them feel that you are providing them with more value over your competition. Again, you just can't do this that easily with a browser, even on the mobile browser version of that store, it doesn't matter. Also, when the browsers do offer push notifications, features, or alerts, they always ask you first with a pop-up, and let's be honest, everybody always declines pop-ups. Who wants to be bothered by them anymore? I feel like we as consumers have battled this for years by installing a bunch of pop-up blockers and all kinds of other software so you're not bothered by pop-ups. So in reality, the dedicated store app gives you access to many other parameters that you can use to get a better idea about your consumer shopping behaviors and needs. That's huge. You know how when you download an app from your Google Play Store or iTunes Store, it will tell you what the app needs permissions to, like your contact list, your images, your location, and so on? Well, this is how you're able to get your hands on this powerful data. Push notifications are turned on by default, so you don't have to ask for the permission like you do on browsers. And of course, if your customers ever get annoyed with these push notifications, they can always go into your settings and optimize it so they either don't get them or get them when they need them. And, we're not invading anybody's privacy. This is pretty much a standard now. We're only analyzing the data that allows you to reach your customers at the best times, optimized for converting them into a paying customer, and that's key. One of my other favorites, to me it's a hidden gem, is the ability to know the model of the phone your customers have. You can just make some educated assumptions about how much money someone is willing to spend if they have, let's say, the latest iPhone 7, plus compared to like a free Android they got through their, through a promotion from their carrier. This indicator has worked really well for me personally, and I want to make sure you guys have access to something like that as well. And also, let's face it, email marketing is just not what it used to be. A lot has changed. Now, I'm not saying it's still not a very effective strategy, but it doesn't match up with the capability to be able to send a push notification to your customer when it matters and when it has a higher chance for conversion. And to be able to automate this whole process, that's just awesome. This is huge. This is how you can create a better relationship with your buyer, offer them more value, more savings, or even freebies to keep them engaged. Remember, this app would be native to the operating system and the device that your customer uses. So the features they already love, like the easy sharing, larger buttons, better mobile interface, it's all going to be available for your store. You know how sometimes when you're in a mobile store from one of your favorite retailers and you just want to share the product with your mom or friend and you accidentally click on whatever is next to it, and the experience just sucks. You know what I'm talking about. We all been through it. You're not going to have that issue with a dedicated app. Having a dedicated app just makes the whole shopping experience super easy on any smartphone and familiar to use. And making it super easy for your customers to interact with your products and your store increases sales, bottom line. Your back-end security is better as well. And that's just a few of the many benefits you're getting. On top of all this new capability you would get, don't forget that your brand is also going to be exposed in two of the biggest marketplaces in the world, the Apple iTunes Store and Google Play Store. How cool is that? A customer types in your company name on one of these marketplaces and boom, your app just pops up with your branding, your logo, and everything. Now, I told you about all these perks, so if you're still watching this, you're probably asking, how am I going to be able to develop this and how much is it going to cost me? If you're already using one of the major e-commerce platforms like I use, which is Shopify, or WooCommerce, or Magento, the development is very straightforward. Your store already exists, so we're just going to turn it into a dedicated app. We don't have to start from scratch. In a sense, it becomes like a hybrid app. What I mean by that is that whenever you add a product to your online store through a browser, it becomes automatically available in your app instantly. And that's the best part. You don't have to maintain your product inventory with a whole another system just for the phone app. It's all in the same place. You let my team handle the development, and you just enjoy the benefits of all this new capability. In terms of development, you also no longer have to worry about the usual browser issues you used to experience with traditional browsers. Like one week it's Firefox, next week Chrome has an issue with displaying something correctly, or Internet Explorer. Don't even get me started on that. But with a dedicated app for a phone, you don't have to worry about that and these issues. The last thing I want to tell you that you need to be thinking about as well is where this market is going. If you are in this e-commerce space already and are up to date with what's going on, you're starting to notice an increased use of messenger communication, whether it's through Facebook, IG direct message, Twitter message, whatever it is. At times, these methods of communication are used more often than traditional texting. Wouldn't you want to have this same capability to communicate with your customers about your products? I'm sure you do. And you definitely want to be able to take advantage of this because this is the next marketing wave. And having an app for your store puts you in the position to be able to take advantage of that. So it's a no-brainer to me. If you want to increase sales or just simply want to make a tech upgrade to your business, that in my opinion is absolutely necessary in 2017. Our team will develop this upgrade for you in just 7 days, meaning the building of the app. The process is easy. You just give us some info that we need about your existing online store, some specs about how you want your interface to look, and we'll do the rest. Go on our website for more information. Get in touch with me for any questions. I'm here to help you so you can take advantage of this benefit. Many of my clients have already, and my online customers have as well. And all my clients were genuinely surprised with the increased capability and increase in sales and the new data you can analyze to just make better moves, better decisions. And again, it's a no-brainer. So get in touch with me. Don't wait. Let's work.